We begin with a special story about Stella and how she was given the gift of hearing. Audiologist Dr. Frederick Jacobs diagnosed her condition, and Dr. Johnny Arruda of Redlands Community Hospital in Redlands performed the surgery that brought the world of sound to Stella.
Stella came to our church actually with the African Children's Choir, and they performed there. And after the choir performance, one of the directors came and was talking with one of our members and just happened to mention, as the children were passing by, now this one has an interesting behavior. We're not sure if she's hearing correctly or what her communication channels are, but we think she might have something going on with her hearing. And so, of course, we said we'd be happy to see Stella, and she came to the office, and the story began there with a diagnosis. I diagnosed her with a pretty severe, what we call conductive or mechanical hearing loss. And from there, we introduced Dr. Arruda into the picture, and we began treating her initially with antibiotics, hoping that it would be something minor. But on follow-up exam, when I saw her back a few weeks later, we discovered that it was much more serious than that. And with Dr. Arruda's exam, discovering a most complicated middle ear disease. Dr. Arruda came to my office and was just wanting to participate and saying, you know, I think we might be able to help that little girl instead of sending her back home with this disease. Dr. Arruda really, I think, was feeling in his heart that it would be a good idea to step in, and that's when he did offer to perform these very complex surgeries.
Dr. Johnny Arruda describes the procedure that allowed Stella to hear and sing again with a choir.
She's from an extremely impoverished area of the world. There's not a lot of opportunity for her to have this fixed, and if I could help, I was willing to do that. I basically reconstructed both ears. One was a little worse than the other. The one side mainly was rebuilding the eardrum. The other side was more extensive, had to open the bone behind the ear, clean all the inflammatory material out, rebuild the eardrum also, and on that side also rebuilt the little bones for hearing. It kind of opened the world up to her more. She was very impressed with how she could hear better and interact, and she was already a very lively child, but even more so afterwards. I followed her for about a month before she left, and then the last I heard she was up in Alaska and with her choir group and doing really well.
Stella is amazing. She tends to break your heart. You know, the first time she steps into the room, and just her countenance and her spirit. Her language in English is limited, but her communication is amazing. But she just tends to go around the world breaking people's hearts and encouraging their hearts, and I think she is an excellent ambassador.